call the public safety meeting of, May 27th to order at 4:30. Declaration of quorum present. We have trustee Hummel, trustee Radke, President Mansell, Administrator Martinson, and Chief Abbott. I will entertain a motion to approve the meeting agenda of May 27th as well as the meeting minutes of March 25th. Motion by Radke, second by Hummel. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That carries. Chairperson comments. I have none really. I'd like to commend you on I don't want to say commend you. We're at least doing something about DMI now and the ordinances and hopefully we'll get some traction on that. I do have a question for Chief Abbott during his portion of it about, ordinance violations in and around the village and how those are handled. But we'll get to that later. Public comment on agenda items. I see no public in the room. I see no public on the webinar. Okay, moving on. Fire Department general update. Betsy, I think you're gonna give the general update.
Apparently that'd be me today. We had a brat fry, this month, usually we always do it the same weekend as garage sale weekend. That was well attended. So that was nice to see, and those kind of funds go for the Port Edwards Athletic Association. So we can do other things around the community to help. Part of the funds that the Athletic Association has had went for the new rescue. Which, speaking of the new rescue, that's working fine, just getting used to a different vehicle, a new vehicle. So we're all adjusting to that, but that's been good to go. The street dance is coming up June 19th, right?
Sounds about.
June 19th. So we'll be having that down there as well with the band. And what was the other thing? As for call volume, we're about the same as we were last year. I just looked yesterday, I forgot what the actual number was, but we're holding steady about the same. Again, more EMS calls than fire calls. There was a couple fire calls just with it being dry and some wildlandish stuff, but that nothing out of the ordinary. For that, we did get a couple new members on our fire department, one of which passed his, sorry, where it was here. But anyway, he passed his background, he passed all of his classes, so now he's officially on our roster and has been showing up to attendances, drills, all that kind of stuff. We did have EVOC training last week. So we had, a course that way to go through and drive the trucks through. So that was well attended from members of the fire department as well. Everybody passed, everybody can drive, so only a few cones knocked over in the process. But that is all that we have. Oh, we did host a HOSA walking taco and bring me flowers event, which is nice to partner with the school and kind of bring, people into the fire department so they can see that, but then just partnering with different organizations as well. Other than that, I have nothing else. Any questions?
Do you know what our numbers are at now? I think they're getting close to 30, aren't they?
I'll say, I think it's 28.
Okay.
There's some members
Yeah,
that,
they're still floating.
there's some members that he needs to put on. He's been waiting. They passed
Yeah.
the checks and he's waiting. He got PFC approval, but I think he's waiting to do the actual pinning altogether. So I think there's more members coming on the board meetings the next couple of weeks.
Okay, I remember there were two that PFC moved forward. And you mentioned that one was the one that is currently on?
Yeah.
Okay, so one is still pending then. That would make sense.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a couple that he
Yeah,
has
so
approval
there's
for.
a couple
Okay.
that we'll do that all here to the officials, swearing in and everything here.
Sounds good.
Anything else?
I think that's outstanding.
Me too. Anything else? Otherwise, make sure you come to the street dance. Bring your friends.
All right, no additional questions. Moving on, police department, general update, chief. You're
The
up.
quick update I gave, does it say March 25 through May 26th, or does it say February 24th through March 24 on yours?
No, it says March 25th to May
Okay,
26th.
so just a couple corrections, somehow they got mixed up. So, the paragraph, does it start out saying the last 2 months combined?
No, this is nothing new to report for the month of
Okay.
March, which is
I'm
why I
gonna
got
just-
slightly confused.
I'm just gonna read you guys the one you should have received, because I sent the wrong one to Ben. The last 2 months combined has led us to getting ready for spring, obviously. To me, it seems like we didn't get spring, we got pushed from winter into summer right away, but, our normal, attempt to clean up the village has begun. Ben and I worked hand in hand, as we have the last 2 years, to pick out the ordinances that we need to enforce right away, some to give some time for, depending on what ordinances they are. So, public nuisance and other ordinances, that's taken effect in the last, 2 to 3 weeks. Abandoned vehicles, vehicles that aren't registered, vehicles that are parked in the grass, miscellaneous yards that have debris that is a public nuisance under our ordinance. Obviously, compliance is always our favored result. Sometimes citations need to be issued, and some, different steps of the way. But, I think we had close to a dozen, residences that, I gave Ben a list of abandoned vehicles and other things. And they're given 30 days, and we're getting pretty close to the end of that, but driving around, I've noticed probably 9 for sure out of the 12 have already been corrected without hearing anything from them. So that's good. The enforcement is there. Squad 1, we're up from 121.2 to 122.6 thousand miles on it. And I will forward you the correct, that way you can get it to everybody. Up about 2,000 miles on the Ram, and up about 1,000 to 1,500 on my squad. No known problems with any of the vehicles. Citations, the typical, no proof of insurance. There were 2 speeding citations. Again, continued push for the village road on Seneca and Fort. That way we can continue to keep, the weight restrictions, and such enforced. There were 5 citations issued there. We had 8 traffic crashes in the last couple of months, which seems big, but because it's been 2 months, it really isn't that much more. Some truancy citations were issued. And then I did issue 6 citations to DMI, in the past 3 to 4 weeks. And hopefully we can get somewhere with them. I have not heard back. The court dates for all 6 citations were written far enough out that they're all gonna be on the same court date. So all 6 citations will be for June 3rd, not pushing them out. Now, the next time, unless we see, some cleanup, or I'm told from village leadership that, they've seen progress, I'll continue to issue those citations. Ben and I have been working closely with that. But I'll just pick another court date, and then if there's citations, we'll do it for a different court date. Other than that, we had 325 calls since our last meeting.
Wow.
Should have got the correct one of that one, so 325 calls on there, so. Officer Murdis is gonna be going to the School Resource Officer Conference, as he always does, in June coming up. And that's in Appleton this year, and Mason Officer Check has been to some schooling to CIT. It's like a mental health type deal. And he enjoyed the class well enough that he actually is on our SISM team for Wood County, which is aftermath breakdown, try to help people that were dealing with these situations. So he's on that team as well. So with Wood County. Other than that, I apologize for emailing the wrong sheet.
What happens? Do you foresee any changes to the SRO program, or do you reevaluate at the end of each school year and say, like, maybe next year we can do something different, or?
Yeah, that program always changes. I mean, there's always the basics, stranger danger, teaching in the little school, in the younger kids in schools. There's always the base type things we teach, but there's always change. Active disturbances, we're getting away from Alice. We're going to a different technique, law enforcement wise. But yeah, I mean, there's always things that change. Officer Meredith is great. He comes up with great ideas. And he's always willing to add to his repertoire, in there. And, you know, he's the designated SRO at Mason, is in the schools every day as well. And I've been, I've had 2 emails in the last couple of weeks about Officer Chet personally on how he's a very good officer. He's very down to earth. He's very, you know, sympathetic in situations where he needs to be. For instance, there was an accident that happened in the last 2 weeks, and the mom emailed me because the high school student, that was involved in the accident, like Mason did such a good job with this young man. And to be able to have that in a police officer himself that is as young as he is, that's a good thing for our small community. So I'm very happy with Mason, and I'm glad that I get to work as a team with those 2 guys. So,
I was just going to add, you know, working at the school, I see one of them every single day. Officer Merce is great with the little kids, especially he's out playing on he goes eats lunch, sees them on the playground, all that kind of stuff. Officer Check is the same way. He likes to kind of rib them a little bit, especially the older kids, and he's just around and checking in with people. With the latest accident, Officer Merce did come in and just check on both schools, not only students, but staff as well. We've worked with that individual, so that was heartwarming that just he's trying to be supportive and understand where we're coming from being a small community. So that's good to see. But yes, we see them in schools. I think everybody should something there.
For nuisance complaints, do you prefer they come to the admin office or directly to the police department, or it doesn't really matter where they go? You guys kind of
Either if
tag team
they,
it both?
either way, if they come to Ben or if they come to me, we both have the same procedure that we do to handle it.
Mhm.
And either way, it's gonna get done the same way if it comes to me or Ben.
The procedure is that, out of my office, we send a letter. If they had a stroke run, so sent out 36 letters about cutting grass, right? I mean, so, you know, and I know we've had calls if there's trash left on the curb, things like that. So, we send out letters through my office, giving them 10 days to clean up what they need to do with a date. Brandon does get included in all those emails. We send everything out that he's aware of that. After that 10 days, if I see it or he sees it, we both normally have a meeting or conversation within them 10 days and say, hey, you know, stop by, we need to take care of this situation. Or like Brandon said, if it's after 10, he gets into a citation, but everything first from the village gets a letter. And then after that, we move forward with the PD, with citations and getting them involved secondhand.
I just didn't know if you had a preferred method of dealing with it, if you would prefer they all go to,
So if you
You know.
specifically get, let's say, trash on the curb or grass.
Mhm.
I mean, if they don't mow their lawn, Ben's gonna send the guys over to mow it anyway. It's gonna get put on their tax roll.
Mhm.
So stuff like that, if it's stuff, like yards that need to get cleaned up, either way, it gets sent out from Ben's office.
Mhm.
But I mean,
And I'm
we
just-
work with each other
Yeah.
enough that if it's just an email that gets sent to me, I'm gonna forward it to Ben so that we're on the same page because we see all of the complaints regardless.
and I'm just saying, I don't know if there was a preferred way of, you know, if residents have complaints about, I have a problem property in my neighborhood, these people never mow their grass, who they call in the first place, but it really doesn't matter.
Most people, I believe, call the village office myself.
Okay.
That way we save all the documents on the village server. That way, if it's a second offense, it's all saved in the village server and they say, hey, the same person was last year or 2 years ago. But again, Brandon and I have a conversation pretty much every day in the morning of, hey, I seen this and I seen this, or, you know, we make sure we relay on the ordinances. And I will say that's been a battle for this position. I think even, Chairman Radke can say, I mean, it's been a battle in this village for years and it's getting worse. Definitely, and I'm not putting this out there, but we have a generational change in the village of Port Edwards. And, you know, we've had a lot of older people, I will say, that mow their yards every week and plant flowers and have always just had one car and never had a boat and never had a camper, and times are changing. I mean, we're getting a lot of people that have a boat and a camper and still have a single driveway, and where do they park those? And, you know, they have jobs that maybe they don't work in the area, they're gone, and cutting the grass isn't, when they get home in the weekends, is not a top priority. And, trying the best we can to work with them, but also, you know, represent and respect the people of the village of Port Edwards, that we're trying to keep a clean environment, a clean area, and we have ordinances in place and try to enforce those the best we can without trying to also, we don't want to run people out of town either. We don't want to be the town that, you know, they don't want to live here because we're constantly on them, but we also want to keep the clean area that we have for a lot of years. So, it's not an easy position, and, we do the best we can every day. And I know that's, out of the 30 calls a day I get, I probably get 10 calls a day that is normally on, grass or a car or a situation about keeping their yards clean. So, but we've had a good relationship. And like I said, that's, Lon can say, we've been dealing with this for years, and we try the best we can to partner and take care of it.
Okay, yeah, and much appreciated. I just wanted to clarify how that was handled, and you got it handled.
Just a question for clarification. School zones, is that, what's entailed in?
School zones is during the morning and the afternoon, when there's typically 15 minutes to a half hour before, and then once the bell is.
Yep.
Students are in, so it's just us being present in the school zones in the morning and the afternoon, just to be there.
Yeah.
I do have 2 crossing guards in the morning and the afternoon, so that's in addition to that. Sometimes if the crossing guard can't make it for the day or whatnot, we will fill in and do crossing guard duty. But school zones is documenting that we're in the area specifically for school zones to enforce, you know, safety of the students getting to school and the parents and all that stuff. So,
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All right, moving on. Any old business for discussion purposes only? I don't believe I had anything. Anyone else? Okay, any new business for discussion in the future? A thorough and comprehensive and detailed report from the fire department?
Yes.
Okay. You will mind.
Just a question,
Yes.
and all of you may have, be very familiar with this. I am not. I'd love to do a tour of the fire department building and so forth. Is that something I could just ask Chief Lease
Yeah.
to do? Okay.
They still drill is it every Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesdays,
Okay.
not every, so like tonight, they're all gonna be down there.
It's like every other, couple times a month.
We have meetings, we have drills, we have different, actually, they won't be down there tonight. Now that I'm thinking about this, but yeah, just shoot him an email, even I can run you in there.
Oh,
There's
okay,
some
thank you.
things that maybe I don't know where they are, but, but yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
Sure.
June 19th, come by and
There we go.
you can see everything and have a beverage.
Thank you.
All right, correspondence received. I received none. Anyone else? Chief? Nothing? Nothing for the good?
No, but I think everything we've, discussed over the ordinances and different questions.
Okay, agenda items for next meeting. I had nothing out of the ordinary. I think standard meeting will. We had questions about, and obviously we're several months, if not years out from replacing engine 1, 2, 3.
It'd be engine 3.
Three.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one. I encourage everyone here to look into if there are alternate funding sources, grants, anything to that nature to try to alleviate a little bit of the strain to the village. I did stumbled a little bit through grants.gov. It's not quite as thorough as it used to be, and don't seem to be as many grant and funding opportunities as there have been in years past. But if you stumble across something, absolutely let us know. And then those are things we can discuss and bring to a full board if necessary.
Will you replacing one of the squads here soon then, too,
Uh,
next year?
The 2018 squad will be replaced after the first of the year.
Next year.
I was able to, get most of the equipment for it already last year.
Okay,
To alleviate having such a huge chunk of money come out of the budget at once. And so, the plan is to. As soon as the Dodge Durango's year model 27 comes out, and we know there aren't any changes that I can buy a roll cage, I'll order a roll cage. but I'm waiting because we can't technically get the car till 27 in case it changes, that I don't want to order the wrong roll cage. So, but yes, so the plan is January 1.
Yeah, I see it's
To replace
replaced,
it.
it's old, so
Yeah,
probably.
it's done very well for us. It really has. So it's still doing it for us.
Hey, next meeting date, PRC will be meeting at 3:30. Is keeping this at 4:30 gonna be acceptable? Well, we typically do this one at 4:30. No, you were gonna meet at Ripple Creek for PRC, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the 24th?
Well, it's not like we're going across town.
I just don't wanna people be rushed to get back
Yeah.
here.
I think we leave it at 4:30, just we have some buffer time at least a little bit.
Nope,
We know the cops, but I think it would be a problem getting back here.
get a license siren escort. All right, so we will stay June 24th at 4:30 PM. Right here. Any other? Hey, hearing none, I will, without objection, declare this meeting adjourned at 4:51 PM. Thank you all.